Bless me. Thank you. Appreciate it. What's up, Eric? I see you this morning. See a lot of y'all this morning. Oh, I see the notifications is working. Okay, that's what's up. Y'all know to hit the like button. We getting it in bright and early, which normally means I have not been asleep. That's 9 times out of 10 what that means. I have not been asleep. Now, as you guys are hitting the like button, you're here to find out what's going on. Why is LaLa and Carmelo getting a divorce? Now, and I'm here to explain it to you. Because who better? Right? Now, a lot of people saw the divorce thing and was like, oh my God, they're getting a divorce. This couple have been basically separated and divorced for about the last 5 years. Money Marcus, to a degree. To a degree. Now, we will get to this. Now, infidelities is normally the common fixture when it comes to dealing with a marriage. Here, the marriage problems started early on. When you come into the marriage under a false pretense or because you want something from the other person. LaLa saw an opportunity. She saw that she can get with an NBA player who was young, up and coming, and she was with a boyfriend at the time. They went on the rocks, nothing. She bounced from him, and he was an up and coming, inspiring rapper that really wasn't going anywhere, who did nothing but shower her with gifts and money and all that stuff. And she basically bounced from him and went over to Melo. You remember the story. And Melo got in a fight with her over the club. This dude came and just doused her, poured champagne on top of her head. And Melo went to throwing blows. That wasn't a very good idea for Melo. If he was anybody else, he would have been 86 that night. Don't forget to hit the like button. Y'all newbies just got here. Subscribe to the page. Hit that like button because you're finna hear the whole story. Now, when this happened, that made them, they weren't even a couple. They were just like chilling on a date. The last week she was in the club with him. And she was just blowing him off and he didn't know why. I've told this before Choke told it. Choke knows the guy personally. Okay? Him and Choke know each other. But I've told this story before Choke even was on YouTube. So it's a very common story. Now, moving forward, right, with the story, they start becoming a couple and dating. Now, LaLa had this thing that she used to do on MTV. She used to be the video hostess or whatever. So she would get invited to some of these local parties or whatever, invite herself, do whatever they had going on at the time. Now, with that being said, it all changed for her when she dated an NBA basketball player, right? Now, before that, she was out here doing her thing. You know what I'm saying? She had a past. She messed around with people because she was inspiring them to get in the game. Now, when you get to this point where KG decides it was cool to use that as a shot, saying, I hear your girl tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios, that pissed Carmelo off. And Carmelo was ready to fight because anybody diss his girl, he gets upset. Now, Carmelo is an insanely jealous man. He's very protective of LaLa. And many of you don't know, is Carmelo rarely does anything with when they push this narrative on him. But Carmelo don't really identify himself as black. Only when the Trayvon Martin situation happened did that happen. Hit the like button if you just got here. Carmelo identifies himself as Puerto Rican. Has the Puerto Rican flag tattooed on him. But marketing yourself as Puerto Rican not gonna help you out with the brothers. Now, no, it's not. You're missing what I'm saying. I know he's mixed, but Carmelo wasn't promoting himself as being mixed. None in his career. So Carmelo was promoting himself as Puerto Rican once he was dating LaLa, who's Puerto Rican. See what I'm saying? He didn't identify with being black until 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 Trayvon Martin came around, and then he became Hoodie Mel, even though that had nothing to do with Trayvon. Then he been taking a stance for Black Power and been this face for the Black Power movement. Carmelo Anthony. They got him on the cover with his son wearing hoodies and using a sun as a symbol. Yeah, I thought that was disgusting. But let's not forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the page if you're new. Now, throughout the course of the marriage, what is the main issue here? Early on, LaLa was feeling as if her identity wasn't being taken seriously in the relationship. She was losing herself, and it was all about him. Now, her past and her reputation of being this club hopper, hanging out in different groups. Now she's got to hang out with different groups. And the NBA Wives Clubs is some of the most vicious women in the history of vicious women. Like Vanessa Bryant didn't even want to hang with them. Vanessa never hung out with them. The Wives Club. NBA players will have wives have these little groups where they all sit together. They didn't like Vanessa Bryant. They didn't like LaLa. They didn't like any of these women like that. The NBA wives had to be like NBA wives, and it was basically basketball wives. Shawnee was normally the one that was in charge of all of this stuff. Shaq's wife, she was in the basketball club with all these other women, and they normally was a bunch of you. Well, you can see how they act. They're territorial, and when somebody else's wife in there, they come up in the group. Normally, they get invited up to be in the group with all the other wives, and they watch the game or they don't watch the game. They just there. But now things have changed. All the wives are thoughts, and 9 times out of 10, they're thoughts. So they're in there. So going through this level, she wants more freedom in the relationship. And she wants to know that the relationship is going somewhere. So they get into a big argument while they're dating. Okay? While they're dating. And it's like they're going to go their separate ways. Right? All of a sudden, LaLa doesn't want to be a woman who is away from all of this. She becomes pregnant. Typical, right? But Melo wants this family. He wants LaLa to be his woman. She got that boy on the hook. She caught him when he was young, in his prime. And she put it on him. So, all of a sudden, the arguments cease. He knows he's going to be a father. So, this has got to work for his image. You have a woman who's a television personality who has relationships now that she never had before because she's dating an NBA basketball player. And he's going to open some doors that she couldn't even step in before. So he decides to marry her. They're married without a prenup. married without a prenup. So, once again, now LaLa has the baby, which is her security. Carmelo Anthony has his wife, and he has his son, who they're grooming to go to the NBA. They're grooming him to go straight. Quran is going straight to the league, period. So they're grooming him for that. His whole life is basketball and video games. They're grooming him straight for the league. Now, Carmelo's in the relationship and they're getting into more fights. Going through the everyday things that a married couple go through. When you're married, things slow down and you go into being a couple. Now, when he's playing basketball, things are different because he's at camp, he's, he's there. Plus, he was playing for the Knicks. So he was right at home. Now, when he's not playing for the Knicks and he's traded somewhere or moved, things weren't happy in New York. So Melo wasn't happy on the basketball court. So if he's not happy on the basketball court, when he comes home, he's really not happy. And you got to deal with the Melo who's mad about the coach in the game taking that home. So she had to deal with that. It was arguments. She couldn't hang out with certain friends no more. So she decided to rebel. I'm going out and getting some me time. So she went out, hang out with her friends, and that was that. They would get into a big fight. Melo would leave, go out, get drunk, then go back home. If he fell into a thing, well, the Denver incident, as I stated, that this is another night that is an everyday thing that happens with husband and wife. It wasn't that she wouldn't come bail him out. It's that she had their son. He had other people that can come get him out. And no, that wasn't going to happen. Now, after spending his career in Denver and doing all the things he did there, pretty much, and living in New York, she wanted him to be close by. He only took the Knicks position so he could be closer to her. Not Melo need to be close to New York. He took the New York Knicks job, the New York Knicks and playing in New York because he was close to her. She wanted to be in New York. Now, when he was being traded and forcing to be a trade, he wanted to go to a team that was close to New York so he could still be a part of the kid's life, his son, and have a close look on everything so it wouldn't be all on LaLa. So during this time, Melo runs into a situation where he has a child out of wedlock because they were fighting. She's rumored to be sleeping with some rapper. Won't throw his name in the mix again, but she's being accused of sleeping with this rapper who's been friends with her for I don't know how long. She's accused of having an affair with him. The story breaks that they've been out clubbing and all this stuff. And all she was doing was partying and hanging out to make Melo mad. because she was getting him back for the things that he's done. Now, these two are very angry with each other and basically weren't speaking for a long period of time. Now, Mello has another child out of wedlock from a stripper or a call girl. So now, in Lala's mind, she's thinking, should I leave the relationship? And when you do this, here's what the public don't know. They thinking, oh, LaLa gave him another chance and forgave him and brought him back. No, LaLa checked with the lawyers. And the lawyers said, you could leave and you would get a lot of money. But if you stay and do what Vanessa Bryant did, the world's your oyster. See, Hillary Clinton, had she left Bill, well, damn, she would have got a lot of sympathy. She would have got a whole lot of people on her side, and she'd have got some money, and then it would stop. But she stayed. You have all the power if you stay in the relationship. She realizes this now. Had she left Mello when he had the baby, she would not have what she has now. She came out with a book. She came out. Don't forget to hit the like button, people. You guys that just got here, hit the like button because this is real spill. Okay? Y'all need to hit this up right now. Hit that like button. I know y'all got here. You knew. Hopefully you subscribe to the page so you get to hear the real spill right now. So they basically were separated for about 2 years. And when they were together, they didn't like each other very much. It was one of those situations where they couldn't stand to see the sight of the other person. And they spent a lot of time apart, which made LaLa focus more on her on screen personality and saying, I'm going to go out there to do acting and getting back into the game. And I'm not going to let you tell me what to do anymore. You don't have that power no more. It's gone. She now has control. He was begging her to come back into the relationship because this hurts him. It hurts his brand. And together, Carmelo and LaLa being together on the red carpets and all the events, it opened up doors for her for fashion week, all these different appearances she's making, cooking, whatever, books. She was doing it all. LaLa was doing it all at this time. No, Jarvis, she shouldn't have left. And I'm going to tell you why she shouldn't have left. And the reason she shouldn't have left is because of the simple reason, like I said, she stay, she has the power. She is the alpha in the relationship now because he wants her back. He needs to have LaLa back to get himself out this jam. So now that he's got this new kid, she accepts him back. Now, like I said, she's in control now. Why take half the money when you can get all the money? So she stayed and she realized, had she left then, even in a divorce, she was not going to get viewed as a long term marriage. See, depending on what state you're in that you got married in, if you're married longer than 10 years, it's considered a long term marriage, which means you are more, you can get half the money, okay, in the divorce. A lot of people think you married, they get half. They don't get half your money, right? It doesn't happen that way. It depends on which state you're in. Like in California, you got to be married at least 10 years for you to be qualified to get half. There's loopholes around this. Some is 7 years. But for her, she needed to have that 10. She needed that 10. And when he had that kid, they weren't at 10. You see? You see? Now you're starting to get the picture, right? So, what did she decide to do? There's a television show coming out called Power. She wants to do the show, Power. She wants to get back in the game, right? Everybody signed a nudity clause in the contract. There's a nudity clause, everybody has to sign it. 50 Cent as well. So, in I believe the second season, LaLa was going to be shown for the very first time, showing her boobies to to the public. That was her big coming out party. Carmelo Anthony didn't like it, did not want her to shoot this scene, saying you're going to hurt your brand doing this. But 50 convinced her to do it. 50 was like, they're going to take you seriously now in Hollywood. Now they're not going to look at you as LaLa. They're going to look at you as a character, as an actress. They're going to start to take you serious. Because this is not you. This is the character. 50 running game. So she want to do it. Carmelo know he been screwing up, and he has no control, no power. He has to accept it. So what does he do? He watches the show, but he never watches that part. So as they're supposedly working on things, she's doing projects, she's out there doing her stuff, she's still going to basketball camp with her son. She's doing all these things as a mother, right? Carmelo decides he finna go on a boat with some friends and get caught up lounging, getting a tan in the middle of the ocean where you would think he'd be safe. He in the middle of the ocean. No perfect place to go and cheat. And he's with his friend's wife. Mello was so messed up by this because this was going to mess Mello up tremendously. They fly a helicopter, right? And followed him. And they got a picture of Mello sitting there on the boat with this chick. And he was, that's my friend's woman. He's on the boat. Why are they following me way out there? Paparazzi won't leave me alone. Why? Because here's what you don't know. Allegedly, LaLa been having private investigators follow you around. It's called the Juanita Jordan. Private investigators are following you around, waiting for you to mess up. And they collect this information and give it to her. So y'all money, that the money that you make that go into the bank, your wife is using that money to spend on a private investigator to trap you. Oh man. Oh man. The irony of it, right? So they have all this evidence on Mello. Old phone numbers, old girlfriends, girls he's been called, from the gram, everything. They got all this information. They got it all. So he's dead to rights. Caught. Now they at the point where Melo don't care no more. His career is about over in the NBA. He might not get called back. Now that he's not gonna probably be in the league anymore. Or if he do, he's coming back in a reduced role off the bench. And it's all done. Guess what? Party's over with, out of time. Hit the like button, good people. 1,200 people in the live. We should have about at least 800 likes off the bat. Yes, and the super chat works here, people. Super chat works. And the Cash App is Carceno, Karceno. Now, she got him by the nooks and crannies. Oh, yeah, well, they could subscribe to the page. That would also help. But she got him by the nooks and crannies. Stay tuned, Richard. We got Tom Cruise and the Russian Mafia over there right now. So just stay tuned. She was very scandalous. But she was just a woman protecting herself because she's given up a lot of her years and, you know, I don't know what she gave up. And she started doing things, plastic surgery. Now she started getting her butt big. She did plastic surgery on her butt. She got her boobs done. She took some of the fat from her stomach and put it in her butt. She got her fake boobs now. She got her new body. Mama gotta have a life too. Yeah. So you start to think, well, you got to remember, Melo met her like 20 years ago, almost. They've been married for 10 years, but they dated for like 10 years, you know? Oh, Matt Barnes, oh, he got sucker tattooed on his forehead invisible. You might as well just go ahead and tattoo it in us so the world could see it. You should just say sucker, simp, all day sucker. Oh, you was watching the Tom Cruise Patreon story from a couple days ago. Did you get your notification for that? Because I did it days ago. I was wanting to make sure you got your notification, Chris. So, like I said, you need to be married more than 10 years. She put it in 11 to make sure. So as soon as it looked like Melo's career is over in basketball, now she can walk away. He's done. Cleaning house. Speaking of cleaning house, I'm gonna have to clean my house. Melo brought this on himself. Yeah, you're right. But think about it. You're an NBA basketball player. You're on the road. Okay? You and your wife is fighting. Being married don't mean you get to have sex every time you come home. That's when you're dating. Now that you're married, she's got to be in the mood. So she's basically pushing you out to go cheat. And it's like keep giving people a little piece of meat off a steak, big cooked porterhouse steak. You cut a little piece of meat off and you feed them a little piece and they go, man, it's good. Let me get another piece. Come on, please, 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 please. And you stall them out. Oh no, she filed for divorce. LaLa filed for divorce, and this is the reason why she filed. Because Melo doesn't look like he's going to be in the league anymore. This looks like this is it. Plus, she has over 10 years. She's been out of this marriage for a long time. This was a business. This was part of their brand. Now the brand is over. Now LaLa is going to ascend to do whatever she wants to do. It's time for mama to have her fun. Well, like I said earlier, in some states, it's not considered a long-term marriage if you're not married longer than 10 years. You need 10 years at the minimum. So if she would have divorced him after he had the child, she wouldn't be eligible for the long-term marriage. They could have pulled that in court and she would have got some money, but nothing like she would have gotten had they been together and just stayed together. Would have been nothing like that. You feel me? Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate that. Man, she's not really bad. She just had that plastic surgery job everybody go get. Oh, my boy T will be happy. He can shoot his shot now. I mean, you love this LaLa chick. She's available. She's back on the market. To me, LaLa was not attractive at all. That big old head, them bug eyes. She was not an attractive looking chick to me at all. But she can put it down. Oh no, LaLa wasn't dummy. She knew. She got her an NBA basketball player. She wasn't about to mess that up. She caught him when you gotta remember, Melo was like 21 or 20 when he met her. He was young. Hell no, I wouldn't smash LaLa. If I did, you see me with LaLa like this, yeah, what's up? You'd be like, oh shoot, Cino going for the money. You know, right there and there. You know, right then and there. Cino going for the money. I'm not interested in LaLa. Hey, yo, Flip, thanks, man, for the cash out. Oh, well, Melo ain't no hustler. Melo is just trying, he's an NBA basketball player trying to survive. I mean, think her son, Karan, is going to the NBA. Okay? Let y'all not be fooled here. Their son is going to get a multi-million-dollar contract to play in the NBA. That's going to happen. He has the best former NBA basketball players coaching him and prepping him to play pro style basketball. Like right now. He doesn't have normal. He don't have normal. He don't have normal regular AAU coach giving him basketball tips. We do a video about average Joe Harris every day. Matter of fact, I already recorded a video about the Bucks and Nets game 6 and what to expect from game 7. It actually surprised me, but I told him we call him average Joe Harris. He's an average Joe. He should be on the average Joe's dodgeball team. No, Drew ain't killing. He was killing the team. He finally decided to play to his abilities. I don't think I'm ever hooping again. I think my hooping days are done. Why men don't want to be kept? Well, you have to be keepable. I mean, I don't want to be kept. The fact that you're saying kept, like you're containing me, is the wrong choice of words. I told you, if you see me with LaLa, there's a hell of a check that has been cut my way. Do I think it attributed to all the injuries in the playoffs? No. But it would attribute to the injuries that took place during the beginning of the season. Now, if you've been injury plagued all season long, then yeah, that is attributed to that. We knew that before they started the new season, when the short turnaround, what it was going to do. We've explained it. We made videos talking against it. Before they did it, when they announced it, I said, this is dumb. The NFL went through this, and you should have learned from that mistake, from having OTAs, no preseason. You saw Saquon Barkley, you saw Christian McCaffrey go down, you saw all the big names going down. Carmelo can get a 25-year-old now. Yeah, but I don't know if he'll be able to afford it now. See, his money's going like this. It's going downwards. This is when you get out. This is like the stock market. She got over 10 years. She's gonna get a lump sum, and I mean a lump sum amount of money. Because now she can get that long-term marriage. She got over her 10 years. And she got 11 just so that she could say, I didn't stay for the 10 years. She made sure it was 11. And she waited till the NBA season was over for Carmelo. They got eliminated. Then she filed for divorce. They've really been separated for the past 2, 3 years. She's not going to divorce and risk not getting her full money. That would be foolish. See, it depends on which state. Some states it's 7 years. You can get long-term marriage. She, depending on what state you get married in, and not only what state, what law that you have. Now you can do business somewhere else, but be under California law. In California law, it's 10 years. So even though you live in another state where you got married at, where it's licensed, depending on what their laws is, 10 years is considered long-term marriage, which means that she can get full alimony. No prenup. Yeah, but his net worth is going to start to drop because he's not playing anymore. So that goes along with the territory. In about 5 years, you're gonna see Melo like, Melo net worth 50 million. But they gonna be straight because Karan is going right to the NBA. He's gonna get another $160 million deal, and she's gonna be rolling again. So she's not gonna have a problem with money. What's up, Paul? Thanks for the cash out. Well, not the cash out, but the super chat. Oh man, if y'all not subscribed to the Casino for Life Patreon, y'all are missing out. Because we're gonna go into way more details on the Patreon. You know that. Patreon version gonna be a little different. Wait till you hear the Patreon version. Yeah, Karan's going to the league. He might not even go to college. He might go straight to the league. Seriously, he might play 1 year somewhere, probably send him to Syracuse like his father. They're going to go with a whip. Karan's going to go to the league. But don't forget to subscribe if you're new here so you can get caught up on information. We're going to go into more details that we left out in this video on the Patreon. So look for that. And I'm out.